Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Belichick's Bitches podcast, the number one podcast in the world using some sort of metric, using the best source, the only source. Do trust me. I'm your host, Brennan, and along with me, as always, my co host, Tyler, and the Super Bowl is now over.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. What a game. It wasn't even really a game. It was
It
more
wasn't.
of a one team showed up and well, the other team just kind of didn't come out of the locker room.
I, I, I'm
It was
happy I
embarrassing.
was wrong.
Hey, I thought the Chiefs would show up, put up 40 points,
Oh, yeah.
and it didn't happen.
I literally said in that pregame prediction video, it's like, if it's a blowout, it's going to be the Chiefs blowing out. And if it's a close game, then the Buccaneers are going to win. No, I was wrong.
And I think everyone was wrong. I don't think anyone predicted Tampa Bay to win by 25 or 24.
It's what I wanted to happen, but no way did I think it actually would happen.
I mean, first of all, okay, let's get the basic stuff out of the way. 31-9 was the final score. The game was over after the third quarter.
I only got to
like,
watch the second half too. I didn't even get to watch the first half.
well,
I don't think I
the
really need
first
to.
half- the first half dragged on. It felt like a long ass Super Bowl.
Mhm.
There was a lot of incompletions, which was the main reason from the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they'd have the ball and they'd throw 4 incompletions and punt the ball,
Yeah,
and that was about it. That was their offense for the first half. They scored 3 or 6 in the first half.
I think it
and
was
in the second
6.
half, they scored another field. Yeah, and they scored another field goal in the third, and that was it. They couldn't even when they got to the red zone, they couldn't finish the drives, and that was when they were lucky enough to, get a stop.
Yeah.
They got like a goal line stand, and you thought, "Oh, that's momentum," and then they had to punt the ball, and that punt only went 40 yards.
Yeah.
So it was embarrassing. Tampa Bay just I hate saying this because it's not what it sounds like. Tampa Bay really just was a lot hungrier.
Oh yeah.
Of
They
course,
they
Kansas
wanted
City
it a
really
lot
wanted to
more.
win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Kansas City won, and I hate saying that because everyone wants to win the Super Bowl, and everyone really wants it. But Kansas City they were like dead men walking. I mean, they
Yeah, they're
showed no fight in the second half. That long halftime, I thought was going to be really bad for Tampa Bay. I thought Kansas City was going to go regroup, calm themselves down, go out there with a new game plan, and they didn't do anything.
the
The
offense
play,
just like
everything,
flustered the
play
entire
calling,
game. They actually
play calling.
they didn't really get a lot of
their
their yards on offense until like garbage time for Kansas City.
when Tampa Bay just rushed 3,
Yeah.
put everyone 15, 20 yards back, and said, "Dump it down until you get to the end zone."
Yep.
That's about it. And even then, they couldn't score. He threw a pick to Devin White.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's about time he dropped like 2 of them earlier in the game.
Yeah, Mahomes had a couple drop picks. I mean, Mahomes could have easily had 4,
Yeah.
maybe even 5 interceptions that game. It was brutal. They got a little unlucky with some flags early in the game. I know you said you didn't watch it. There was a few questionable calls, a lot of holding. The Chiefs DBs were just grabbing everything, and rightfully, I understand because they have to play man-to-man coverage.
Yeah.
When you have that many superstars, you have Gronk and you have Godwin, Evans,
You have
Brown, Miller.
You have 4 elite playmakers that can go over the middle and expose their weakness as a linebacker. So you kind of have to play man coverage. You can't and against Tom Brady especially, you can't just sit back in the zone because he's just gonna beat you every time.
What Kansas City couldn't stop, and they couldn't stop it 2 years ago versus New England. It was the running back wheels. They could not stop any wheel running. Literally, all Fournette would have to do is fake getting a handoff and just run to the sticks and stop, and he'd get a free catch first down.
Yeah.
It happened 3 or 4 times, and it was the most basic play. But if they focused on that, he would just hit Evans over the middle, or he would hit Antonio Brown on the right, or he would hit Godwin over. I mean, it was just absolutely. It was just slaughter. That was all it was, and it was brutal. Chiefs fans are saying it was the ref's fault.
No.
I mean, no.
When you lose by that much, No.
It was as simple as that. It was just the Buccaneers just had a way better game plan, and man, it was insane. And then the defense, the Chiefs' defense isn't elite. It's never been elite.
No.
But one of their strongest points was Tyrann Mathieu, Chris Jones being able to calm their guys and up their level. They were able to let guys like Rashad Breeland, Tre'Davious Ward, and even L'Jarius Sneed, a rookie, play way above their pay grade because they had great support.
Yeah, that was my that was one of my keys for Kansas City to win the game was their superstars on defense have to play the best games of their careers.
Oh yeah, but Chris Jones early in the game had a terrible third down unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. He swiped at Ryan Jensen's face mask. After Jensen and him were talking, a little trash. It's first quarter. You're trying to get in the opponent's
yeah.
And he swiped at Jensen. First down, and that's when they almost got the touchdown on the goal line stop. They wouldn't have even been in that position. So that happened. And then in the second or third quarter, second quarter near the end, Tyrann Mathieu was talking with Brady back and forth. He said he was saying, "Target me," and so Brady targeted him, and Brady got up in his face, and Mathieu must have said something or put his fingers in his face or whatever, and then got another flag.
Yeah, Mathieu, I think, tweeted about that, and then he immediately deleted it when it was revealed that Tom Brady was mic'd up.
Yeah,
he tweeted.
Trying to insinuate,
yeah, he tweeted exactly this. He called me something I won't repeat, but yeah, I'll let all the media throw me under the bus as if I did something or said something to him. Go back to my previous games against TB12. I showed him nothing but respect. Look at my interviews about him. I show grace. He deleted that after he heard that Tom Brady was mic'd up.
And all Brady called him was a bitch. Now, again, Brady, I've never seen that side of Brady. I've seen Brady get fired up at his own teammates. I've seen him get fired up at officials. I have never seen him talk that much trash to an opponent. And it was weird because that's a 43-year-old, quarterback going into one of the better defensive backs in the league and telling him he's a piece of shit. It was glorious, and it was unexpected. They lost the mental battle. They lost the physical battle. They lost the strategic battle. They lost every battle except the coin toss. That's the only thing they won. And they had a Georgia Tech boy score 9 points. I mean, it was... I'm just saying. A Georgia Tech kicker scored more points in the Super Bowl than Patrick Mahomes. Trivia question in 15 years. But it was just brutal, and I loved it.
Former Bronco Shaquille Bear had a great game, which was amazing to see. Absolutely love that.
Oh yeah, him. Jason Pierre-Paul looked like 25-year-old Jason Pierre-Paul.
They absolutely dominated the Chiefs' offensive line. Yeah, another key I said for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and you know who's really helped that defense is Vita Vea.
Yes.
His presence on the interior just scares offensive linemen because if they leave him on one-on-one, he's gonna get past you. He's that strong. He's that powerful. If you double team him, you're begging Shaq Barrett or Jason Pierre-Paul to get a one-on-one matchup with a backup left tackle and a backup right tackle.
And you also have Ndamukong Suh right there in the middle as well.
And he's always one-on-one. Yeah. And that's why he had such a productive season. He's always one because you're not going to double Ndamukong Suh. You're just not going to. It's brutal, man. It's a brutal loss. Leonard Fournette had a great game. Ronald Jones, I don't know why he was really even in the game. It didn't make sense to me. Leonard Fournette, playoff-wise, is a better running back.
I mean, he still averaged over 5 yards a carry. Ronald Jones.
But he was a lot for what the game plan was. Ronald Jones, he wasn't in that game plan. That was a Fournette game plan.
Yeah,
and it was amazing. Scotty Miller didn't get a catch, sadly.
No, he only got one rush for -3 yards. That was kind of disappointing.
But man, he's still, again, he's another one of those things where if you have to watch him, because I guarantee you that Kevin King play was playing in their minds when they were playing against Scotty Miller.
Oh yeah,
because they put a lot of attention on him.
Definitely.
And what's sad is Tampa Bay could have easily put up 45.
Oh yeah,
points.
They could have scored a lot more than they did, but they took their time going down the field, which is exactly what they should have been doing the entire game, and exactly what they were doing. And it led to them playing winning football and just dominating their opponent on every phase of the ball.
Yeah. Let's talk more about Mahomes. So,
I probably
first
feel
of all,
bad for
Mahomes.
Mahomes. He's a
Yeah,
oh my lord, that man. He can
could
play football.
he
I
could
don't
he
I,
could
I,
file he could file a thing with Chris Hansen for abuse. I mean, it was brutal. First of all, 2 backup tackles. I think
yeah.
a backup right guard.
I
And a
think their
backup
right
center.
guard was playing right tackle.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Kilgore was out with COVID. And it so first of all, he is not playing. He has traffic cones in front of him, and he's taking his 10-step drops, which you showed me. I didn't even really notice
Yeah.
that. He was 10-step dropping a lot, and so
That puts a
that takes an
lot of
extra-
pressure on your offensive tackles, and when they're not that
Is it-
good, they're gonna get
Yeah.
beat at like every time.
because that takes about an extra half second, and that half a second is an eternity
Yeah.
for a pass blocker. Because if they whiff on their first contact, it's pretty much a sack.
Yeah.
And you saw that a lot. I mean, he ran for 500.
Yeah, it
yards.
was like a few yards short of 500 yards before he even threw the ball.
Behind the line. 500 yards.
Yeah.
That is
That's
most quarterbacks don't even have 500 rushing yards.
and he was
in a
and he
season.
and he was doing that with turf toe that's going to require surgery after those. That's going to be words with turf toe that will be surgically repaired after the season, after the Super Bowl.
And that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Ow. And so you have that, and on top of everything else, him and his receivers were on the absolute not even near the same page. Mecole Hardman was running streak routes when he was supposed to be running comeback routes. Tyreek Hill was running, I don't even know, over the middle. He looked lost.
Yeah.
Kelsey was getting clamped by Levante David. One of the unspoken heroes of the night for Tampa Bay is Levante David.
I so hope Levante David enters free agency and the Broncos can pick him up. That'd be great.
It takes a lot to really cover Kelsey, and
Yeah.
I know Kelsey probably could have had more yards if Mahomes wasn't dying every play.
I mean, he
But
had
Levante-
133 yards, but that most of them came into garbage time, as with most of the
Yep.
even Tyreek Hill's receiving yards, most came in garbage time.
I mean, Levante David laid a few really good hits on Mahomes as well. Him and Devin White, it was brutal. But yeah, Mahomes got destroyed. He made a couple insane throws. He was like one where he was face planting pretty much, and he threw it 35 yards into it. And Tyreek Hill dropped it. He dropped it. The one before him with Byron Pringle, where Pringle caught it, he just couldn't get his toe down.
Yeah.
It was
Well, and there's also that one where it was going to like the right back of the end zone, and he had his, like, I think it was Pringle, he had his hand on it for a second, then the pylon just knocked it out and it bounced on the ground. He's like, "Hey, I caught it." No, you didn't, Pringle.
no stop. Pringle actually had a really good game. He's really shown up, in my opinion. Great special teams plays. He had a good punt return, good kick return. He had a couple decent catches in the first drive. And then once the offense went to shit, but Pringle has definitely earned himself a nice little raise. One of the unspoken guys on that Chiefs offense and special teams.
Can we talk about the great coordinators for Tampa Bay? Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles had fantastic games play calling.
Yeah.
The Bucks played 2 high safeties on more than 80% of the defensive plays that game alone.
And what that does is that forces Mahomes to either dump the ball off or run.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can't do a lot, especially if he's fully healthy, because they will eventually next year they're going to figure it out again. The Chiefs are going to be great next year. It's going to be the same deal. It's just in a game like that, it was just a perfect game plan. Winfield played, or whatever you say.
Winfield.
Not
Winfrey.
I don't know why I keep wanting to say that. He had an amazing game.
Yes.
In a moment we'll talk about in a minute.
Yes.
Whitehead continued to have an underrated game. A lot of nice hits. Great coverage ability. Jamel Dean the stud, the breakout player, which I was correct on at the beginning of the season. He had a great game. Sean Murphy Bunting, decent game.
Yeah, I was really worried about the Buccaneers secondary going into this game.
Yeah,
but they proved me wrong. They played lights out.
And they were helped by that pass rush. I mean,
oh yeah, 100%.
They play off pass rush and defensive backs. They play off each other.
Yeah.
Great linebacker. They had one of the best linebacker tandems in the league. So of course their linebackers played well. Devin White was everywhere. There was a play though. I don't want to keep talking about Mahomes. Mahomes was running out of bounds for like a scramble of 10 yards, and it literally looked like Mahomes was jogging, and you had Devin White running at full speed, and he didn't catch up.
Wow.
That's how fast Mahomes is. He was like, it almost looked like he was jogging at like 60%, and he was outrunning Devin White.
And Devin White's fast.
4.42 speed. So, yeah, insane. But yeah, Byron Leftwich, he's going to be getting an offensive or a head coaching job next season.
Same with Bowles, probably.
Bowles, he'll get another shot. Because those Jets defenses, when he was defensive coordinator, were not bad.
Yeah, they're pretty good. It's just the team was terrible, as per the Jets.
Didn't he get like Jonathan Jenkins or that Georgia that really old? He had like 8 sacks when he played for Bulls. I remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. The football team gave the Bucks. I saw that. That is true, though.
It is true that the football team gave the Buccaneers the most trouble out of any team in the playoffs.
It was funny. It was the best. Who's the best quarterback Brady played in his playoffs? The answer: Taylor Heinicke.
Tyler Heinicke. Yep.
That feels like a year ago, honestly. That Heinicke. It was 4 weeks ago. And it feels like a.
That was 5 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, 5 weeks ago. But yeah. I mean, it really just showed, man. Like again, football. It takes a team, man. It's not an acclamation of talent. Sport, kind of like others.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. Basketball, hint, hint. It really comes down to how well you gel with your teammates. And one little rupture in the defense, Matthew having a bad game. One little rupture on the offense, 2 missing tackles. It was over. It was just too much for them. They lost that game before they took the field. No one knew it yet, but they had no chance that game. With the game plan they had, with the Mahomes injury.
It takes every single one of those players to win that game.
Yep.
That's just football. Everyone's got to be 100% bought in with playing 100% on every play with a great game plan. And if you do that, you have a pretty good shot of winning. If you don't, and the other team is at least somewhat close to that, you're not going to win.
Yep. And yeah, it was just insane. And but the thing is, the Chiefs will be back next year. This doesn't change.
That offense solely, yeah.
They'll be back. Their cap situation's not even that bad. They have a few decisions to make, but it's nothing major.
Yeah.
They'll come back. They'll be dominant again. It's that simple. Tampa Bay, Brady said
he'll be back. Yep. Just like I thought.
No retirement talk this offseason.
I don't know why people keep saying it. I honestly don't know why people keep saying Brady is not going to retire until he sucks. Come on, guys.
Until he literally can't throw the football.
Yes.
He's gonna play.
Stop. If Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, he's going to retire. Nope. That's going to egg him on to get even more Super Bowls. He's going to play until he can't play anymore.
I mean, shit. At this point, you might as well just write him down for 10. Rename the Lombardi Trophy to the Tom Brady Trophy, and then that's it. Or
at least the MVP award to the Tom Brady award.
I fully expect it. I mean, it's something I don't think we'll ever see again.
No, with how much of a team sport football is, I can't fathom ever seeing anything like this kind of sustained success from a singular player we could ever see again.
Mahomes has a chance. He's gonna play in a lot more Super Bowls. He's gonna be here again. He's gonna win at least a few more.
I mean, it also on the flip side of that, he could just have the same sort of career trajectory as say like a Russell Wilson or an Aaron Rodgers. He gets there once or twice and never really can get back.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, what Brady has done. What I think the difference is it's not Brady's ability, it's the mentality he brings.
Yes.
I know that's cliche in a way, and I understand that's cliche, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When you have Brady on your team, you just feel like you're gonna win every single game, and that's what happened with the Buccaneers team after they lost Week 12 to the Chiefs. Right?
Yeah.
They had a players only meeting, and they said we need to fix this shit. We're not playing to our potential. We haven't played our best game yet. Let's go out there. And Brady was the one leading that meeting. Now, what do you know? They went undefeated, Week 13, won through the playoffs, on the road, won the Super Bowl, dominated the favorite by 22 points. Again,
yeah,
cliche, whatever you want to say. It's the mentality. And until Brady,
that's all it takes. That's all it takes sometimes.
Until Brady can't throw that football 5 yards, he's going to be playing in the NFL. It's that simple. He could be 45, 46 years old. If he can throw that football 5 yards,
he's going to do it. Yeah. 100%.
So,
I don't want to hear anymore. Brady's going to retire after this year if he wins the Super Bowl. No. If that were true, he would have retired after like 5.
Brady's retirement is going to be one that just comes out of left field. I have a feeling it's going to be like he's going to finish the season. People are like, oh, you never know. All of a sudden, boom, it's just going to come out randomly.
The one season everyone expects Tom Brady to return, he's going to be like, I'm done. It's just gonna be how it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, but man, it's just insane. Okay, we need to talk about
Antoine Winfield's taunting penalty on Tyreek Hill. That was amazing. I love that.
So, for people who didn't know, in Week 12, like we said, that was the Buccaneers' last loss.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's touchdown celebration is he throws up a 2 sign. I don't know why. It's just his thing. So, he did it a lot.
It's the amount of times he got caught for domestic abuse.
Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna do the Herbert thing. I'm not gonna laugh at that.
That was good by Herbert though. Saw that clip.
About in a minute too. But yeah. So he scored 3 times that game. He had 200 and something yards. Just stupid game. So Winfield, after he knew the game was done, smart guy. He didn't do it in the third like a clown, and they ended up coming back. Thank God. He waited till about 2-minute warning, and he did it right to Tyreek. Got flagged for taunting. Who cares? Even Bruce Arians gave him a high five for it.
Yeah, everyone was giving them high fives. I think the DB coach gave him like a little chest bump or something like that.
I guarantee you, he was thinking that throughout the whole game. Even through like this last few weeks, he's like, if I get a chance, if we're winning the game and we know we won, I'm going to. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was funny. It was funny to people to see the Boomers were really mad about it. There were a lot of people not happy. I loved it.
Tyreek Hill deserves it. He deserves a lot worse than that, but that's besides the point.
And then Hill was so... I don't even think he cared. He was just so pissed. In general for the game. I don't even think he cared, but...
And you can see like the zoom in on the camera after Winfield had done that. He had the biggest crud-eating grin on his face. It was amazing. Then as soon as I saw his smile and then him get like a chest bump from the DB coach, I just started laughing.
Yeah. Again, so wrap up from I think the last parts of the game we'll talk about. At the end of the day, even I doubted Brady this season. Because I'll be honest, I thought the Bucs would make the playoffs when we talked about it. And
yes.
I thought it was going to be, I thought it would happen. I didn't think he'd make the Super Bowl. I thought he would flame out around, the divisional round. B, I did not think at all that he would go into the Super Bowl and just dominate.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. He proved, and honestly, this was the first season, in my opinion, that he had everybody doubting him. I guarantee even most Buccaneers fans probably really didn't think they would win the Super Bowl just like that. I didn't think. So it's insane. it's almost as good as the 28-3 Super Bowl. I think it's probably his second best overall performance in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Beside that 28-3. You can make a case for the Eagles Super Bowl where he put up like 500 yards, but in just terms of pure dominance in the game, I would put that number 2.
Yeah, I could probably agree with that.
It was a statement win.
Well, in the first half of the 28-3, he didn't play all that great. So just like terms of like overall like entire game, he played fantastic. I probably put this one like number 1, and then like you said, the Eagles game at number 2.
Yeah, that Eagles game where he just, if you want to see a quarterback who got robbed of a Super Bowl, that was just how good he was in that year was just insane. That was one of his better years of his career. He was like what, 39?
Yeah.
40.
40. Yeah.
Oh man. But good game. I'm happy. And he's going for number 8.
I am also very happy with this result. Thank you.
So
thank you for being the Chiefs. Thank you.
So we'll wrap it up with run-in segment, and we got a few more little storylines because we didn't have an episode last week.
Yeah.
49ers gave Josh Rosen an extension because they signed him off the practice squad. Does he get a ring? Because he was on the Buccaneers practice. I think he gets a ring.
I'm not sure.
Because he was on the Buccaneers practice squad most of the year. So if I'm not mistaken, he gets a ring.
Josh Rosen, cool, a Super Bowl champion.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Josh Rosen got as many Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying. Okay? Just saying.
This is true.
And so does Mr. Blaine Gabbert. Super Bowl champion, Blaine Gabbert. Don't get it twisted.
2-time Super Bowl champion, Shaquille Barrett.
So, this trade, I think you and me both love it. Let's talk about it.
I think Stafford won the trade, honestly. Well, both quarterbacks, I think, probably won the trade more so than the teams did.
Oh, yeah. So, Matthew Stafford is on his way to the Rams. The Rams are sending 2 future firsts and quarterback Jared Goff and a 3rd-round pick.
I believe so, yes.
In the deal. And Lions, I think the Lions did really well in this trade. They got a bridge quarterback that, who knows, maybe with the right coaching and the right mindset, he could be your starter for a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on how everything goes. I mean, Goff's got some. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's got talent. He was the number 1 overall pick for a reason. He's not untalented. He's not a terrible quarterback. I mean, what's it called? In these playoffs, we were talking about how good he played.
Yeah.
In the wild card round and in the versus the Packers, he had 2 good games. So he's definitely a good quarterback. You could definitely tell him and McVay and the Rams just weren't on the same page.
Oh yeah, there was some animosity there for sure. I don't think they just wanted to.
The Rams.
Yeah.
The Rams knew that they weren't going to win with what was going on, so they changed. They didn't, blissfully ignore the obvious and try to fix it, which a lot of teams do.
Yes.
Oakland's been doing it for about 15 years. They understand the problem and they fixed it, and they're aggressive.
Yeah.
I loved it. They haven't had a 1st-round pick since Goff.
Nope. 2016, that was their last 1st-round pick, and it was Jared Goff.
Yep. I mean, that is ballsy, and it's proven to work. If you know how to draft right, you don't always need a 1st-round pick.
Yeah, and they've drafted pretty well, especially for their scheme.
Oh yeah. Cam Akers, Cup, defense, they've got a lot of young guys.
Yeah, they got Rapp. They got Darrell Henderson.
Terrell
Burgess, yep.
The corner that's really good for them, opposite Ramsey, Williams.
Yeah,
I think Darius Williams. Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of talent they've got, and they said, you know what, we need a better upgrade at quarterback to win. So here it is. I'm all for the move.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think it's a great move.
Few win-win trades. You don't see them a lot in the NFL.
I think it was. I know for sure that the Broncos and the Panthers also made offers, but none even came close to what the Rams gave up. Like, I think Broncos offered 9th overall and Drew Lock, but the Lions wanted one of our I think they wanted one of our young receivers, like they wanted like Judy or Sutton or something like that. So the Broncos pulled out. And then the Panthers offered pick 8 and Teddy Bridgewater. And I think that was like the second closest deal to getting done. I think it was like pick number 8, Teddy Bridgewater, and like a third or something like that. But obviously nothing as close to what the Rams gave up.
Yeah, and it's kind of, the Rams were the most aggressive pursuit. And I really think what this trade shows is how much value quarterbacks really have on the trade market. And that's why Watson's deal is going to be massive.
Yeah.
It's going to be at minimum 4 firsts. In my opinion, and plus players.
Yeah. Which is why I'm kind of out on Deshaun Watson right now, just how much it may cost. So I'd rather trade up as of right now.
But I think for teams that are trading for Watson, it's worth the risk. That's why I think the Jets are the perfect landing spot for Watson, because they have the least to lose.
Yeah, and they hired one of the coaches that Deshaun Watson really wanted to get hired in Houston, and Robert Saleh.
Yep. So, and then Texans are trying to say, "Oh, we won't trade Watson. He's a member of." Yeah, that's not going to last very long.
They never even said they wouldn't trade Deshaun Watson. They got asked if they would just trade Deshaun Watson, and I think the GM said, "No, we're not going to trade the player." They never specifically said Deshaun Watson.
It's like they're trying to boost his value. It's already boosted. Take what you can get and get out.
Yeah.
And one more thing about the Stafford trade that I thought was hilarious. Asking for Aaron Donald, I love that.
I mean, might as well.
Ballsy. You know, you might as well. And I think it's a good thing. It just sets the tone for the trade talk. They were not going to get screwed out of that trade. They're like, we want a good offer. Give me Aaron Donald, and then we'll talk down from there. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Start high, go down low.
Yep, exactly. You don't want to start off with what you actually want, because you're probably going to have to settle for less. So might as well go all the way on what you really want to get out of it.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
In terms of. So let's actually let you do your section, and then we'll do a little closing segment on the season.
So I think I originally texted you about, like, I was like, I know my next player of the week, like, I want to say like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And since I texted you that, he has risen up so many draft boards. It's been annoying because that's like I haven't been able to get to talk about him yet. So it feels like I'm just jumping on the hype train. So if you couldn't already guess, I'm going with Jalen Darden, the wide receiver out of North Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 5'9", 170 pounds. He's a senior. Dude, this guy's explosive. I don't usually say this about a prospect all that often. This dude is elite with the ball in his hands as a receiver. Like his ability to make people miss is number 1 in the class by far. Of course, he's only 5'9", so you're probably going to want to keep him slot. But he could be a great slot receiver. Great gadget player on like jet sweeps, and also in the return game he's also fantastic there as well. Just finding ways to get this guy involved in your offense would be extremely beneficial for you. Even just on like simple screens as well, he can just make people miss, and he has lots of burst and like deep speed to make plays. I think as of right now he's probably, I don't know, with all of his hype that he's getting right now, you could probably see him 3rd, 4th round pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen him rise up quite a few boards the last like week.
Yeah. When I first texted you, it was like, I know who my next player of the week is going to be 3 weeks ago. I was talking about him, but now it feels like I'm just on the someone else's hype train. And I didn't get to do a Zach Wilson thing again.
That was funny with the Zach Wilson thing, because you told me that like in,
I think it was October.
No, it was sooner than that. It was about when we started the podcast. It was about August that you were on the Zach Wilson train. I was like, okay, man, we'll see, because he was still like a 3rd round talent at that time.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I think by the time I actually did our episode on him, he was like a late first, early second.
Yeah.
And now he's all the way up to number 2 overall. It's like great. I mean,
But,
pat on the back for me, but great.
Well, and that ends the 2020 NFL season. It was a freaking ride, man. First season for the podcast.
Yep.
We started like about a month before the season started. Just an insane with all the COVID and all these opt-outs and freaking schedule changes.
Kendall Hinton.
I mean, we didn't have to cancel the game, but we had to play quite a few clunkers.
Yeah.
In between, but it was a season, man. It's for good or bad, we'll definitely never forget this season.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure. But that's a season in the books. We'll be back next season. Although I guarantee you, I'll be in a completely different setup. That should be fun.
We both will be soon.
Yeah, I'm transferring to college.
So am I.
I think you are too.
Yep.
So, but we're going to keep the off-season episodes coming. Hopefully, should be once a week. I think we'll be able to keep that schedule.
Yeah.
For quite a while. We're going to start having some more guests on now that we have a full season under the belt. We're going to start having a couple of your buddies on. I got a few guys maybe want on the podcast.
All right.
See if we can get a few connections on.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it may be. Hey, you've been talking to whoever that right guard is, David Edwards on. That's not David. Dalton Reisner. That's who we need on the podcast next.
He likes one of my tweets once. Tyler's like, let's get him on the podcast.
Come on, man. Just start blowing up the DMs. You may get blocked, but it may be worth it.
That would be cool, but
so as always, we'll be back next week on the Belichick's Bitches podcast. Thanks for sticking out this season.